Welcome back to Will and Mabel, and on this video I'm going to discuss the most important thing that you can do on a daily basis for your dog that takes no time whatsoever, yet allows you to reinforce the fact that you are a calm, consistent canine leader and your dog is a perfect canine companion that understands it can look to you for direction no matter what is happening. So if you've been following along with this channel, before Mabel passed away, you will have noticed me do this in a lot of my videos, and I do believe that meal times are one of the most important aspects of the day with your relationship with your dog. With your dog being much more of a traditional animal creature, food is much higher of a priority for the dog, and the way that the dog interacts with food and a way around its environment, surroundings and its pack is incredibly important, and it's an opportunity for us to very easily be able to capitalize on the importance of food with our dogs to make sure that we reinforce the fact that we are calm, consistent leaders. Now, how I go about this is discussed in a lot of detail on my Perfect Puppy course, which you can check out. The link is down in the description box below. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a video clip from one of my good friends that is following the Perfect Puppy course at the minute with one of the most beautiful Cane Corso puppies that I've ever seen, and he sent me this video clip to have a look at how his dog's getting on with following my methods of how to utilize meal times to the highest level possible. Now, I've already gone back and forward with my friend and we've discussed some criticism, some way to improve, but he did say he was more than happy for me to show this clip with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the clip first, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to discuss some of the amazing parts of the clip as well as some of the things to work on and how you guys can implement this same strategy to really reinforce the most important part about our relationships with our dog, and that is that you are their calm, consistent leader.
Just in time, Bruce. Sit and stay. Good boy, good boy.
So there you go, that was an incredible clip, and I'm sure, like me, you were very impressed that a Cane Corso of such a young age, such a young puppy, has that level of obedience already. Now, the reason that puppy has that level of obedience is because of the relationship it has with its owner, and that relationship is one of which it is clear, undoubtedly, that that owner is its leader, and it can look to its owner for 100% of direction, 100% of guidance, and in 100% of situations. Now, if you can establish that relationship with your dog like they have there with their dog and their Cane Corso, everything else is easy. I promise. You just fine tune in and teaching the obedience, and everything drops in behind that foundation that is so incredibly important. Now, the obvious parts of that clip and of that routine that might jump out to you straight away are things like you're working on a sit, which is always brilliant. You're working on a stay, which is fantastic. That stay then, because it's utilized with the food, the dog is very hungry, it's ready for its dinner. Dinner is given at very specific points during the day. Food is never left down for the puppy. So by the time the puppy is ready to eat its dinner, it's hungry. That level at such a young age of impulse control, not to break until it's told to do so, shows that clear level of respect and trust in its leader, in its owner. Now, it's completely positive. No punishment, no corrections are used whatsoever. The dog just understands that if I want to get what I want, which is this food, I must do what my leader asks me to, and that is to sit, be calm, be wait, show good manners, and if I do those things, then I get what I want, which is the food. And if you do that every single meal time with your dog, that is the single best way to really reinforce into the dog's mind that you are its leader. If you have that level of control over your dog of any age, which a puppy of that age is absolutely incredible, by the way, if you can achieve that with your dog will just inherently understand that you are its leader, and it needs to look to you for guidance, it needs to look to you for approval, and for you for direction. Now again, like I say, from the outset, that clip might just simply show that it's got a good sit, it's got a good stay, it's got good impulse control, and then it allows to eat at its food. Very good, that's very impressive. But as a canine behaviorist, to me, there's so much more going on there. Like I say, I've already touched on that level of leadership, but if you watch that clip again, when the dog is in a sit and stay, the owner moves around a lot, but what you'll notice is that the puppy might check back on its food. Again, at a puppy at that age, its desire to break for that food is so high, and its level of impulse control that it's required to not do that is absolutely incredible, but it's constantly making eye contact with the owner. Even though there's something that it wants more than anything, that dog is showing restraint towards that item and is looking to its leader for direction. If you've got a dog that does that in an environment such as wanting its dinner, something that is very raw and primal to the dog, that dog will also do that in other environments. And that, for me as a behaviorist, is why this drill is so important, because if that dog can show that level of impulse control and restraint around its food and look to you for direction, you take that dog out into another environment and that same thing will happen. Take, for example, your dog is off lead and it sees another dog that it wants to go and run over a road and chase. A dog that doesn't look to its owner for direction, doesn't look for its owner for guidance, doesn't have impulse control and restraint, will simply break and will ignore you. Might run out in front of the road, it might end up getting into a fight, it might end up hurting somebody, it might end up getting run over. There's loads of things that can happen and come from that. A lot of negative behaviors like aggression towards other dogs, about aggression towards people, obnoxious barking, poor manners, a lot of the time stem and are symptoms of not having a clear, calm leader in its life that it can look to for direction. So again, I'm very passionate about this subject. I'm hoping that's coming across, because I'm so proud of what the people that follow my course and follow my theories are able to achieve with puppies at such a young age is incredible. Because if he maintains that moving forward, that dog will always understand that that is its leader and it can look for it for direction. Then all the leader has to do is teach it the things that it wants to see, and those obedience then come easy. So then when you are out in the big wide world and there's distractions and things going on that the dog wants to do, it will always look to you for direction, whether that's because a dog's attacking, a dog's barking at it, there's squirrels running away, there's kids running away. A dog that has good manners, is calm, looks to you for direction, and then has the simple basic obedience of recall, sit and stay. Even just those things is a dog that is under complete control and is a perfect canine companion. So I'm incredibly proud of what he's been able to achieve by following my Perfect Puppy course. Honestly, it's the best part of what I do. I love making these videos. I love working one-to-one with people, and I love working one-to-one with dogs. But my passion and my joy is about teaching people. I've got a first-class degree in education because I absolutely love teaching other people to then be able to teach their dogs. And when I see the results and how that video was sent to me, and how happy they are with the progress that their puppy's made by following my course, and when I see how happy people are and the results that they're getting through me being able to train them and me being able to educate them, is the highlight of absolutely everything that I do. I absolutely love it. Now, like I said at the start of the video, there was a few criticisms that I had that we're going to discuss now, but I wanted to make sure I made it very apparent how proud of him I am and how amazing the progress is going. Now, you will notice, again, if you go back and watch the clip, the dog had a brilliant sit, it had a brilliant stay, its impulse control was brilliant. And by the way, that drill will help massively with resource guarding. If that dog has that level of impulse control and respect for its leader around food, you will then nip resource guarding in the bud automatically. And if any resource guarding is apparent, using those kind of drills will really reinforce to the dog that, no, this is my food that I am letting you have when I tell you you can have it. It's not punitive, it's not abuse, it's just about being a good good leader and the dog understands that you're its leader. Now, again, if you go back and watch that clip, you'll see that the dog was brilliant and the dog was released on the term good boy. And so the guy sat down, he made her do a really good, decent time for a sit and stay and a wait, and then he released him on good boy. The dog was like, brilliant, awesome, and went and had its food. That's kind of the only criticism I can make, and it's something that I want to discuss in this video, that when you put your dog into a sit and stay, you don't necessarily have to be silent during that. You can reinforce that sit and stay, and you would often reinforce that to sit and stay with good boy. Now, if your dog has the break command on good boy or good girl, and you also use that phrase as a reinforcement marker, that's where some confusion and issues can arise later on. Now, we are talking about higher levels of obedience here. That dog is already better than 99% of the dogs out there with that level of control and obedience, and impulse control is fantastic. But if we want to take it a step above, I highly recommend utilizing a break command and having the break on the word break or release or whatever it is that you want to use, but having a separate word that you don't use for anything else. What that will allow you to do is be able to put the dog into a sit and stay. You can reward that sit and stay, which you should do. If the dog is doing something that you like, tell it. Good boy, yes, good boy, good stay, good boy. But if that dog then breaks because it thinks that that was your fault, not the dog's fault. So if you can have the dog sit and stay, good boy. And when you're ready, break, and then you can utilize that. Not only is that good around meal times, but it can then be utilized in all arrangements. When it comes to door manners, when it comes to place, if you take any guarding levels to a little bit higher, if you want to take obedience a little bit higher, being able to have a break command is absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend with guarding breeds that you use a place command, especially when people are coming into the property or into your home, being able to send your dog to a place and then answer the door and the dog stays on its place. You want to be able to reinforce that stay with good boy, good stay, good place, however you want to utilize it. But if that dog then gets confused and think you're breaking it, that dog then might get a little bit high energy. The interaction with whoever's at the door might be a problem. But if you can put them in their place, good stay, good boy, good girl, good. And then when you're ready, break, and then they're allowed to leave. You can use that for all environments, whether that's waiting at the door to go out for a walk, waiting at the door to come back in, waiting for its food, waiting to be able to be invited up onto the furniture. You understand where I'm going with that. So I recommend, not only is that routine fantastic, and I'm extremely proud of everybody, not just this guy, but everybody that is implementing that throughout, following my Perfect Puppy course, but I do highly recommend that you add a break command to the obedience work that you do with your dog for that reason. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did and you want to send me some videos of your own, whether you're following my course or not, I'm going to leave an email down in the description box below where you can send me a video clip. And if you're happy for me to use that video clip on videos like this, I can give you some feedback, I can give you some advice, and then other people can watch and hopefully learn as well. Because again, like I say, my passion is being able to help you guys become good canine leaders. So thank you so much for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe, turn that little bell icon on so you never miss a future upload, and I'll see you on the next episode of Will and Mabel.